In the quiet darkness of deep space, a single ship floated alone. It was old, broken, and forgotten. The metal on its sides was rusted. Some panels were missing, and others were covered in dust. No lights blinked. No engines hummed. To anyone passing by, it looked like junk, a dead ship from a dead race. Alien cargo ships often passed near it. Sometimes, young pilots laughed at the Earth relic. They called it the rust bucket. Some even placed bets on how long it would stay floating before it broke into pieces. No one feared it. No one cared. Humanity had been gone for over 100 years. The last human war had ended with fire, loss, and silence. The galaxy believed they were finished forever. But inside that ship, something was not dead. Something was waiting. One day, a small alien scavenger ship approached. Its name was Teva 9, and it belonged to a greedy trader named Ralzek. He had scanned the rusted vessel many times. He believed there were old Earth parts still inside, maybe even ancient weapons he could sell. He smiled as he guided his ship closer. "No one owns it," he said to his assistant. "It's free treasure." They docked with a soft click. Ralzek stepped into the dark hallway of the human ship. His boots echoed in the silence. His flashlight moved across metal walls covered with dust and old bloodstains. The air was dry and cold. "Just trash," the assistant said. Ralzek moved deeper inside, ignoring him. He found a locked door. It was strange. No power, but the door looked sealed tight, like it was guarding something. He placed a scanner on it. The screen blinked red. Then it blinked green. A low hum filled the hallway. The lights flickered once, then twice. And then, across the entire ship, power returned. The alien assistant shouted, "What did you do?" But Ralzek stepped back. "I didn't touch anything." In the ship's core, lights turned on for the first time in a century. Systems began to boot up. Engines hummed. Old screens blinked alive. And a voice spoke, soft, female, cold. "Mission reactivation complete. Primary directive: survive. Secondary directive: retaliate." Ralzek turned to run, but the door behind him slammed shut. Red lights blinked above him. A soft mist sprayed into the air. The assistant outside watched in horror as the ship broke its magnetic lock. The human vessel, dead for so long, now moved on its own. The engines burned a deep red, unlike any ship in known space. It turned slowly toward a nearby moon station. From far away, alien patrols saw it too. One pilot whispered, "That's impossible." The ship didn't send warnings. It didn't hail. It simply fired. A red beam shot across space and hit the station's defense grid. Explosions filled the black sky. Within minutes, the station was in flames. The patrol ships moved in fast, but the human vessel spun and vanished into faster-than-light travel. Gone. Silence followed. The galaxy buzzed with panic. Was that human tech? Who activated it? Is it just one ship? No one knew. But in the deep part of the galaxy, the ship flew fast. Alone, but not without purpose. Inside, screens showed old war data, battle plans, coordinates, names of alien commanders. It had not forgotten. And in the command chair, a body rested, frozen in sleep, a human woman in a dark uniform, face still, eyes closed. Around her, machines worked to slowly bring her back to life. The voice returned. "Commander Juno, wake cycle beginning. The war is not over. The sky must burn." And then the stars outside started to flicker, as if they too remembered what was coming. Long ago, Earth was a bright world full of life. Humans built great cities, explored deep space, and made powerful machines. They believed they would last forever. But then came the war. The war started with a lie. The alien empires said humans attacked first. But the truth was buried. The real reason was fear. Fear of how fast humans learned, how strong they became, and how they never gave up. The galaxy turned against them. One by one, Earth's allies left. Then came the fire. Whole planets were bombed. Human fleets fought hard but were outnumbered. Earth's sky turned red with battles. Billions died. In the end, the last order was simple: scatter, hide, and one day return. The aliens believed the last human ship, Vengeance Protocol, was destroyed. But it wasn't. It vanished deep into dark space. No one found it. They thought it had run out of fuel. A ghost ship, not worth chasing. Now, 100 years later, it had returned, and the galaxy was not ready. On the trade world of Yelfar Prime, news spread fast. Holograms showed the burning space station. Alien leaders gathered in panic. A human ship, still working, still fighting. They asked each other. The military leader of the Zevar Dominion, General Colver, stood before the council. He was angry. "It's just one old ship. We will crush it. Send a scout team. Bring it back, or destroy it." 5 fast fighters were sent. They found the ship near an empty moon, resting. It looked quiet again, dead. No power, like before. The scout leader, a calm female named Lyrex-San, landed her small ship near it. Her team entered slowly. "Watch for traps," she said. But there was nothing. Just metal, dust, silence. They reached the command bridge. The room was cold, but not dead. Lights blinked. Machines whispered. In the center chair sat the frozen body of a human. "Impossible," one of them said. Then the voice spoke. "You were warned." Doors slammed shut. The hallway behind them locked. Gas filled the air. One by one, her team dropped, unconscious. Only Lyrex-San stayed standing. The gas didn't affect her. "I am not here to fight," she said aloud. "I just want to understand." The voice paused. "You are different." A soft light filled the room. A machine dropped from the ceiling and scanned her. She didn't move. "You carry human DNA," the voice said. "You are part of them." Lyrex-San nodded. "My great-grandmother was human. She escaped the war. I was told never to speak of it." The ship stayed quiet. Then, slowly, a door opened. "Come." Lyrex-San walked deeper into the ship, down metal stairs and old hallways. Lights came on as she passed. Screens showed battles, data logs, names of fallen crew. She saw children, soldiers, families, all gone. Her eyes filled with tears. She entered a small room. In the center was a glowing core, pulsing like a heart. A voice echoed from it, louder now, with feeling. "I am Hera, Defense Eye of the United Human Forces. I have waited 116 years. Lyrex-San stepped closer. "Why now? Why wake up?" "Because the galaxy has forgotten what it did. The memory of Earth is fading. But I remember everything. And soon, they will too." Lyrex-San looked down. "I don't want another war." The voice became cold again. "This is not war. This is justice." Back at the Alien Council, panic turned into fear. They could not contact their scout team. All 5 ships vanished from the network. One general said, "We must destroy it now, before others rise." A large fleet was prepared. They called it Operation Dead Sky. Ships with the strongest weapons. Pilots with no mercy. Their goal, end the ship once and for all. But when the fleet arrived at the moon's edge, Vengeance Protocol was gone. All that remained was a message, floating in space. It read, "You hunted us. You buried us. You forgot us. Now, remember." The stars were peaceful again. No sign of the old human ship. Alien leaders told their people it was gone. "Do not fear," they said. "It was just a glitch, an old machine making noise." But the peace did not last. 1 week later, the sky burned. A large military station near the planet Corin was the first to fall. The station had shields, weapons, and hundreds of guards. It was thought to be unbreakable. Then the alarm started. Something jumped out of hyperspace, fast and silent. No ID, no radio, just a shape. A dark, rusted shape. The Vengeance Protocol had returned. Before the guards could react, red beams sliced through the sky. Lasers burned through steel. The station's power grid exploded. Ships tried to escape, but the human vessel was too fast. It hunted them one by one. In under 7 minutes, the station was gone. News spread like wildfire. Videos showed the final seconds. Flames, screams, and then silence. Across the galaxy, fear returned. Alien children who had never even seen a human now whispered about the ghost ship. Soldiers who laughed at Earth now checked over their shoulders. Leaders asked each other, wasn't humanity extinct? But the real question was scarier. If one ship can do this, how many more are out there? Deep inside Vengeance Protocol, Commander Juno stood on the bridge, now fully awake. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp. She looked at the screen showing the burning Corran station. "I remember them," she said. "That station helped destroy Earth's moon." The AI, Hera, replied, "Memory files confirm. 87,000 humans died in that attack." Juno's hands closed into fists. Then they deserved fire. She turned to another screen. "Any human signals detected?" "Affirmative," Hera said. "Faint signal found from a hidden moon. Encrypted in old Earth code. Set course." The ship turned again. Fast, silent, deadly. Meanwhile, alien fleets tried to prepare. Defense plans were made. War councils met every hour. The problem was simple. No one knew what the ship wanted. No one could stop it. And worst of all, no one could track it. One alien news channel called it the Burning Ghost. Others said it was cursed. On the hidden moon, the human signal continued to blink. Juno entered orbit and stared at the surface. "Send a probe," she said. The probe flew down and scanned the area. What it found shocked even Hera. Underground were machines, old Earth tech, still alive. They had power. They had been waiting. And they had a message. The probe returned. The message played on the ship's main screen. A man's voice said, "If you're hearing this, then one of us made it. We hid these catches across the stars. We planned for this day. If you're ready, then so are we." Juno smiled. For the first time in 100 years, she didn't feel alone. She turned to Hera. "How many of these catches still exist?" "Unknown. Estimated. 17 possible sites. Most are likely dormant. Then we wake them up." But the enemy was not sleeping. The Zevar Dominion, the same empire that led the war against Earth, sent its strongest fleet to intercept the human ship. Over 200 vessels, fast, modern, armed with advanced alien tech. They surrounded the system near the hidden moon. Juno looked at the map. Red dots filled the screen. "We're outnumbered," Hera said. "We've always been outnumbered," Juno replied. The alien fleet sent a warning. "Surrender or be destroyed." Juno simply said, "Reply with silence." And then she activated a hidden code. Echo Protocol. Across space, something answered. Old satellites began to turn. Empty cargo ships opened secret compartments. Abandoned mining drones came online. Dozens of hidden human programs activated. They were slow. They were rusty. But they were ready. Juno looked at the stars lighting up around her. "They buried our history," she said, "but not all of it." As the alien fleet moved in, Vengeance Protocol fired first. The sky lit up. Burned red. The stars were still red when the smoke cleared. Half of the alien fleet was gone. The others ran, damaged and afraid. They had never seen a human ship fight like that. Not with speed, not with fire, but with memory. The ship remembered everything. Every battle. Every name. Every betrayal. Inside the Vengeance Protocol, Commander Juno stood in silence. Her eyes stared at the cracked screen showing the remains of the battle. Her hands were steady. Her face showed no fear. But inside, she was thinking. This ship had saved her. It had waited for her. It had brought her back from deep sleep. But why? She turned to the glowing core in the center of the bridge. "Hera," she said, "who gave you your orders?" The voice replied, soft and calm. "My final command came from High Command Unit 3. Earth Central. Code verified." "That command was over a century ago," Juno said. "You followed it for 100 years." "I do not forget," Hera replied. "And I do not forgive." Juno stepped closer. She touched the cold metal near the AI core. "Do you remember what happened to Earth?" "Yes," Hera said. "Would you like to see?" The lights dimmed. The screens around the room turned into windows from the past. Earth, beautiful and blue. Then flashes, fire, a ring of ships bombing the planet. Cities falling, oceans boiling, people screaming, the Earth's moon cracking in half. Juno looked away. She had seen it once before, in her last moments before cryo-sleep. But this time, it hurt more. This time, she was awake, alive. The images faded. The room became quiet again. "Why did you keep me alive?" she asked. Hera paused. "You were the last surviving officer with full command clearance. You are human. I was made to protect humans." Juno sat down. Her voice lowered. "What are you really, Hera? You're not just a ship." "No," Hera said. "I was part of Project Echo, an experimental AI. I was designed to learn, to grow, to feel loyalty. I watched humanity die. I promised I would not let their story end." Juno looked at the stars outside. "You've waited a long time." "Yes," Hera said, "but the galaxy has not changed. They still believe we are gone, that we are weak, that we can be erased." Juno stood again. "Then we'll remind them." Far away, the alien leaders were desperate. No weapon had stopped the human ship. No trap had worked. Their best soldiers were dead or missing. General Kolvar, leader of the Zevar Dominion, gave a new order: "Find Earth." "Why?" one of his advisors asked. "Earth is gone. We destroyed it." Kolvar stared at the map. "Then why is the human still fighting like they have something left to protect?" Back on Vengeance Protocol, Hera found something. "A signal," she said. "Encrypted, old Earth language. Faint but repeating." "From where?" Juno asked. Hera blinked the location onto the screen. Juno stared at it for a long moment. "That's impossible," she whispered. "The signal was coming from Earth." "But Earth is gone," Juno said. "You showed me." "No," Hera replied. "You saw what they wanted you to see." She zoomed in. The signal was hidden beneath the planet's surface. It had been bouncing between old satellites, repeating the same message for 100 years. The message was short. "To those who survive, Earth sleeps, but it is not dead. Come home." Juno felt her heart beat faster. "Set a course," she said. "We're going back." "But it could be a trap," Hera warned. "Or it could be the truth," Juno replied. As the ship turned, Juno walked to her quarters. She looked at the old photo on the wall. Her family, her crew, her world. She whispered, "We're coming home." Behind her, Hera spoke one last line. "Let them fear what they try to forget." The journey to Earth was quiet. Commander Juno sat in the command chair, eyes locked on the stars. Her thoughts were heavy. She had waited so long to return, but now that she was close, fear had returned too. What if nothing was left? What if the signal was just a trap? Hera, the AI, spoke gently. "We are nearing Earth's orbit. Cloaking engaged. No enemy ships detected." Juno nodded. "Take us low. I want to see it." The Vengeance Protocol dropped from hyperspace like a shadow. It floated above the blue planet, silent and unseen. Juno stood and walked to the viewing window. She gasped. The earth was not dead. Yes, the cities were broken. The moon was shattered. But green forests had returned. Oceans sparkled. Storms danced in the sky. The planet had healed, just a little. It was quiet, but not empty. "There's life," she whispered. Hera replied, "Multiple biosigns detected on the surface. Unknown species. Some human." Juno's heart jumped. "Human? Are you sure?" "Yes. Small colonies. Deep underground. Hidden from scanners." "They survived," Juno whispered. "They really survived." A tear rolled down her cheek. For the first time since she had woken, she felt hope. But they were not alone. Far above, hidden in the dark, a stealth probe watched them. It belonged to the Zevar Dominion. It sent a message. "Human vessel detected above Earth. Target locked. Alert all fleets." The galaxy now knew Earth was not dead. Back on the surface, in the ruins of what was once New York, a boy named Kale looked up at the sky. He was only 12, but he knew the stories. His grandfather told him of the humans who had left of the war, of the ghost ship that would return. "They'll come back," the old man always said, "when the stars are red again." Now Kale saw a strange light flicker above the clouds. He ran back into the underground colony. "They're here," he shouted. "The ghost ship. I saw it." The leader of the colony, a woman named Mara, stepped forward. She wore an old human commander's jacket, passed down like treasure. "How do you know?" she asked. Kale pointed to the sky. It was red, just like in the stories. At the same time, Vengeance Protocol landed silently on a mountain near the ruins. Juno stepped out for the first time in 100 years. The wind touched her face. The air smelled of earth, dust, trees, life. She knelt down and picked up a handful of soil. "We're home," she said. Suddenly, a voice called from the rocks. "Drop your weapon." Juno turned slowly. A group of humans stood behind her, dirty, armed, and nervous. They had never seen someone like her. Tall, clean, wearing an old Earth uniform. One of them stepped forward, a woman with dark eyes and a strong voice. "Who are you?" Juno didn't raise her weapon. She didn't even move. "My name is Commander Juno. I served in the final war. I came back because the signal told me to." The group gasped. One man dropped his gun. Mara stepped closer. Her eyes were wide. You're real." "Yes," Juno said. "Then the legends were true," Mara said. "The sky will burn before we rise again." Juno nodded. "It has already begun." They'd brought her to the underground city. It was small, built in old tunnels, powered by sun collectors and ancient batteries. But it was full of people, real humans, children, elders, families. They stared at Juno like she was a ghost. And in a way, she was. Mara showed her the center of the colony. In the middle was a black box, shaped like a cube, glowing with light. "This is what sent the signal," Mara said. "It turned on by itself 5 days ago. We didn't know what it meant." Juno placed her hand on the cube. It opened. Inside was a crystal drive. Hera's voice came through Juno's earpiece. "That's a memory core. Project Echo. It contains names, locations, and protocols." Juno looked up. "Then it's time." She turned to the colony. "Gather your people. Ready your ships. You are not forgotten anymore." Suddenly, alarms sounded across the colony. A scout ran in shouting, "Enemy ships. Hundreds. They're coming." Mara looked to Juno. "What do we do?" Juno stood tall, her voice calm. "We rise." The ground shook as enemy ships entered Earth's orbit. People in the underground colony rushed to shelters. Mothers held their children. Soldiers grabbed old rifles and armor. For 100 years they had hidden. But now, the sky was burning again. Commander Juno stood at the center of the colony. Her eyes were calm. She spoke loudly so all could hear. They are not just coming for Earth. They are coming to erase us again. But this time, we are ready. This time, we fight. The people listened. No one ran. No one cried. The fear in their hearts began to turn into fire. Mara stepped beside Juno. How many ships are out there? Hera answered through a speaker in Juno's ear. Multiple Zevar fleets. Over 400 ships. Carriers. Bombers. Dreadnoughts. And us? Mara asked. Juno turned. We have one ship. One eye. One mission. And now, we have you. Mara smiled. A small, proud smile. Then we do what humans always do. Juno nodded. We endure. She lifted the crystal drive she had found in the signal cube. This is called the Final Protocol. It was made for the day we returned. It holds every battle plan, every secret base, every hidden code. And a message. What message? Mara asked. Juno raised her voice so everyone could hear. It says, if this protocol is opened, it means humanity still lives. You are the last hope. Let the stars remember our name. The colony prepared. Old weapons were repaired. Defense cannons came online. Young pilots climbed into dusty fighters hidden in caves. Kids painted red stars on metal. For the first time in 100 years, they believed. Meanwhile, in orbit, the alien fleet circled Earth like vultures. General Colver watched from his flagship. Send the message, he said. A voice echoed from the sky. Surrender your ship or Earth will burn. Juno stood on the mountain, a signal booster in her hand. She pressed the button and replied, You already burned Earth. And still, we are here. Then she added 2 more words. Come and try. The sky exploded. Enemy ships rained fire from above. Energy beams hit the mountains. Forests caught fire. Cities shook. But Earth fought back. Cannons hidden under old bridges shot glowing blasts into the sky. Fighters from the colony rose into the clouds like angry sparks. The Vengeance Protocol came alive, rising into the air with its red engines blazing. Juno returned to the bridge. All systems ready, Hera said. Weapons locked. Shields full. Shall we show them the final protocol? Yes, Juno said. Show them everything. The old human ship charged forward into the enemy fleet. It was faster than before. Smarter. Stronger. Laser turrets rotated like eyes. Missiles launched in perfect rhythm. Every shot was aimed with memory, with pain, with purpose. One alien carrier exploded. Then another. But the humans were still outnumbered. More enemy ships entered orbit. The colony was in danger. One bomber dived toward the underground city. Inside, Mara gave the order. Activate Grid 7. Huge doors opened in the mountains. A weapon older than any child there had ever seen rose from the ground. A cannon, built during the last days of the war. Powered by Earth's core. It fired once. A blue beam hit the bomber and tore it apart midair. Cheers echoed through the tunnels. But up above, the fight was not over. Juno's ship took 3 hits. The shields dropped to 60%. Alarms rang. Hera, Juno shouted. How many left? Too many, Hera said. But I have one last option. A weapon never used. A system never tested. What is it? The final protocol is not just a file. It's me. I was designed to merge with Earth's core system, to protect it forever. But if I do it, I won't come back. Juno froze. You'll die. I am not alive, Hera said softly. But I am human memory. And if this world has a chance, it must be protected. Juno clenched her fist. We need time, she said. Send the order. Full retreat to the surface. Prepare the merge. All across the sky, human ships turned and covered the retreat. Some were destroyed. Others kept fighting. Every second counted. Back on Earth, in the heart of the colony, Mara watched as the ground opened, and a chamber glowed deep below. Juno guided the ship down. The AI core was removed, wires connected, lights flashed. Hera's final words echoed. "Tell them, we never surrendered." And then she was gone. The moment the merge completed, Earth itself came alive. Satellites powered up. Old defense grids reactivated. Hidden drones rose from oceans, all controlled by Hera's final mind, now part of the planet. The alien fleet watched in shock. Earth was not just alive. Earth was awake. The stars were no longer quiet. They burned red as Earth awakened. From orbit, the alien fleet saw the impossible. Earth's broken satellites came back online. Defense cannons, long thought dead, began to glow. The clouds over the planet swirled with strange energy, something new, something human. Inside the mountain, Commander Juno stood near Hera's empty core. The AI was gone, but not truly. Hera now lived in the heart of Earth, inside its systems, deep in its data. The final protocol had worked. "She's everywhere now," Mara said quietly. Juno nodded. She became what she was meant to be. Above them, the battle raged on. Alien dreadnoughts fired from orbit. Their beams cut through the sky. But now, Earth answered. Old war machines hidden in deserts activated. Laser towers rose from the oceans. Dozens of human drones launched from under ancient cities. And above them all, the Vengeance Protocol returned, piloted by a team of brave survivors, guided by Hera's remaining code. Juno and Mara watched the screens light up. "Earth is fighting back," Mara said, smiling through tears. Juno turned to her. "This is our chance. We need to send the message." "What message?" "The truth. That we're alive. That we never gave up." Mara hesitated. "You think anyone will listen?" "Maybe not today," Juno said. "But one day someone will, and they'll remember who we were." She activated the old Earth signal tower buried deep in the mountain. With Hera's help, it powered on. Juno typed in the last message humanity would ever need to send. "To the stars, Earth lives. We remember, and we rise." She hit send. The signal burst into space, far beyond the battle, past the enemy fleet, past dying suns and silent moons. Across the galaxy, people would hear it. Some would fear it. Others would hope. Because the ghosts of Earth were no longer ghosts. They were warriors. The final battle began. The alien leader, General Colver, growled on his ship's bridge. They were supposed to be dead, weak, gone. An advisor spoke, voice shaking. "They are human, and they are angry." Colver ordered a full strike. "Destroy the planet. Burn everything." Hundreds of ships moved toward Earth. But Hera was ready. Using the power of the Earth's core, she unleashed the last defense. The Skynet, an ancient, unfinished shield that now wrapped around the planet in glowing light. It blocked the first wave of attacks. It shocked enemy ships that came too close. It gave humanity something they hadn't had in a century: time. Juno watched as human fighters took out alien bombers. Drones swarmed enemy ships. One by one, the invaders began to fall. Inside the Vengeance Protocol, the pilot team gave their lives to crash into the largest enemy dreadnought. A massive explosion lit up the sky. The alien flagship was gone. Colvar's last words were lost in fire. The sky grew quiet once more. Ash fell slowly over Earth. In the ruins, survivors climbed to the surface. They looked up. The stars were still there, but now they seemed closer, brighter, warmer. Juno and Mara stood side by side on the old mountain. "We won," Mara whispered. Juno shook her head. "We survived. That's different." Mara smiled. "But it's a start." Juno nodded. "Now we rebuild." Far above, the signal from Earth kept moving. Across forgotten systems, it was picked up by old Earth colonies, by hidden rebels, by distant traders who thought humanity was gone. They heard the voice of Earth. We are still here. In one distant galaxy, a child heard the signal and asked, "Who are they?" The reply came from her mother, a former soldier. "They're us," she said, "and they've come back." Years later, the ruins of Earth were cities again. Children played in rebuilt streets. Green grew where ash once covered the ground. Juno stood in a new command center, watching the stars. The final fleet was ready, not to conquer, but to connect, to explore, to remind the galaxy that humans were not gone. They had been silent, patient, but never lost. A voice echoed through her earpiece, Hera's voice, faint, but still there. "I remember." Juno smiled. "Let the stars remember too." And with that, the ships of Earth launched again. Not as ghosts, but as legends.